Good afternoon and welcome. This is KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner. Of course, it is Saturday and we are here to take you through Matter Sports, giving you highlights of what's been making headlines across the country and of course outside our borders. A lot has been happening from an African Cup of Nations point of view. There were many teams, but only two are left standing. Hosts Cameroon gets to play in the third playoff later today, but will it be Sadio Mane or Mo Salah carrying the day? Both are Liverpool stars, and while Liverpool fans have been praying that they get back to Liverpool in good time, maybe being knocked out in the preliminaries, they had to go all the way to ensure that they are among the last two teams standing. May the best team wins. It's a win. It's coming up tomorrow. That's the African Cup of Nations final. Egypt taking on Senegal. Will it be Mo Salah or will it be Sadio Mane carrying the day? We'll have to wait and see. Keep it here in our subsequent news bulletins. We'll be giving you highlights and results of that when and as they come out, and wishing that may the best team carry the day. Good afternoon once again and welcome. My name is Amfa Apidi, and of course ready to take you through what's been making headlines. Normally we start off with the score to give us highlights of how things happen, but when you're privileged and honored to have champs in studio, you tweak it a bit to give the champs an opportunity to let us know what's making them tick. We are privileged to have with us African champion in tennis, Africa world #1, and again ranked number 53 in the world. We are talking about none other than Angela Okutoyi, just back in the country after a very good debut in the Australian Open, getting to the third round. No mean achievement at all. Angela is here with her coach to let us know what's making them tick and what next, now that do I say there's light at the end of the tunnel, or they've taken the tunnel to where the light is? They are here in studio to tell us if it's either or in terms of making it tick. We are here. We'll start off with them, then we'll go into the score just to get highlights of how Angela managed to pull it through in terms of her performance. Let me take the opportunity to introduce and welcome them officially. So to my immediate left, we have African champion, Africa world #1, not forgetting that, ranked number 53 in the world, Angela Okutoyi, back in the country after a very good debut in the Australian Open. Angela, good afternoon and thank you for making time.
Good afternoon, thank you too.
Welcome back to the country.
Thank you.
Well, next to Angela we have Joe Karanja. Joe has been behind Angela's success, making sure that Angela does everything right for the past 4 years. It's not been an easy journey, but they say work hard, you see the success, and when the going gets tough, the tough must get going. And if you thought that they say you go out there and just do it alone, there's always somebody to watch out on what you're doing. Joe Karanja has been that man ensuring that things go well in terms of Angela's success and preparations. Joe, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Shukran.
Karibuni sana. Angela, first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
How has it been? Let's start immediately, even before looking at the journey. How was it like, making it to the Australian Open?
Well, making it to the Australian Open, it's not easy. You first have to play some tournaments and also improve your ranking to be able to be in the draw. And being in the draw meaning in the main draw, because you also, if you don't have a good ranking, you'll be in the qualies, and qualies is not a joke. It's really tough even compared to the main draw. So me being able to be in the main draw was quite a good thing for me. The first time when I saw, I was really happy, because for me, I thought I was gonna be in the qualies, but being able to be in the main draw gave me that extra confidence and the belief that actually now I'm here and I'm ready to do what I can. Yeah.
Well, just getting the news and info that you are in the Australian Open and seeing your name in the draw is an achievement in the first place. But Joe, as the coach, let's look at the preparations and how it's been. Were you surprised seeing Angela's name on the draw, and how has the journey been in terms of preparing her mentally and physically for the task ahead?
Okay, since I started with her and the way she has been doing, I always believe in her. And I always believe impossible can be possible, and she has proven that. And I believe she's gonna go places. And this is a girl who fights. She never looks back. Since I started her 4 years ago, and God is faithful. God is good. She's gonna go places.
Well, as we look at that in terms of going places and all to expect, clearly, remember you can interact with us at AMFA at KBC Channel 1. If you have any questions for Angela or, just words of encouragement, feel free to do so in our social media channels. Angela,
yep.
How has the journey been? Let's start off with the journey before we look at, Australian Open, being an African champ, being ranked number 53 in the world. How did it all start?
Well, I would say it started when I was young. I live with my grandmother. She's a single mom. And I was training at Joe tennis program with Joe Karanja. He started me. And I studied at Mbagadi Road Primary School. And the journey wasn't easy at first. I remember there some days we weren't even eating and the only meal we could see was dinner. But when we see our mom with the sacrifice she makes, really gave us that motivation to do what we are doing or what I'm doing. And she's the drive. Like every time when I'm playing, when I think of her, I just want to do what I'm meant to do on the court. Like she drives me to do what I'm doing. So having her being the drive is something good because she pushes me, and the sacrifice that she has put on me and also the family, it's really priceless, and I don't know how I can repay her, but all I want to say is thank you to her. And here Joe Karanja, I remember there are times he used to help me and my family also to supply some food, give us some tennis clothes, some shoes, because there are times we were going and playing with torn shoes or torn clothes, so we don't even have proper attire for tennis, but he accepted us as we were, so I'm really grateful. And I would say the journey is not yet good. Like we still have ups and downs. It's not like we're in the best stage now. We still have ups and downs, but having our grandmother by our side, it's good, yeah.
Well, it looks like a very humble setting, a very humble beginning, and like they always say, you always look at the glass as half full and remain focused. Joe, it's been a very tough period the last 3-4 years. We all know that COVID-19 has been here with us. There's been moments of on and off, no movement, training. How has it been with the pandemic? Because now things seems to be looking rosy for her at the moment, but when you take a rear view, then it's not been easy. How has it been like during the pandemic period?
It's a matter of discipline. No, now you cannot train. You have to train on your own. You have to do things you have been doing with your coach, and play where you can. Because with this COVID, if you don't train serious, then your ranking will go down. But for her, she has been working hard. She has been running, and she has never given up. Yep.
In terms of not giving up, still with you, Coach, there are those who believe that, no pain, no gain.
Yes.
But there are those who believe in more pain, more gain. How is it like handling, the age bracket? Because this is a very tender age in terms of managing their preparations. How do you handle it?
First of all, is you have to have a passion of the sport. And since I started this program, I just asked God, I want to produce players in this country, because my theme is raising the standard of tennis to the international level. That was then, even before she was born. That was 2001 when I formed my program. And my program is full, I run schools, and also I run the community who cannot afford, like Angela and others who have got scholarship. They are like in high school now, and they're not paying school fees. Now they're doing Form 4. So for Angela's journey was not easy, because they could have come there, as she had said, no food, and they're not telling me. But as a coach, I can tell from their face. So I used to do something, go and buy milk. Lunchtime, when the other kids who can afford, I used my money to buy for them like chips and stuff. So like Angela, she has never missed like training. She always come with her twin sister, Rosa Sumwa. And like Rosie, she used to be very good also. Unfortunately, when on the training, she kind of dropped a little bit. But Angela, she has never stopped playing. By the time Rosie realized the tennis was very important, she came back. But she could have not catch up with Angela Okutoyi. For the journey, I trained her until 10 years. where I started looking for the ITF officer, Thierry. I told her, we have a girl here, please come and look, because she has a potential. When Thierry came to my center, she didn't say anything. She just took her. And then unfortunately ITF could have not taken her because she was very young. ITF, they take you when you're 12 years and above. So we said, oh, let her hang around 1 more year or 2 years. So after 1 year, because what happened, when Angela was 6, she used to win her category 6 and 8. When she was 8, she used to win under 8 and more. So she used to be an advanced player. So after 1 year, Thierry comes, she has now to write for the bosses, say, hey, we need to take this kid. So when she was taken to Burundi at the center, she was the youngest and smallest. In fact, even people were like, oh, will she make it? She's gonna make it, what? Me, I believe in her, because the time she was growing up, she used to play with tough players. She have never given up. And she was playing with rich kids. She have never looked at that. The time there's a tournament in Mombasa or Nakuru, Green State School, I used to put her like a part of the other kids. And her, she never look at who are this, me, I don't have this. I used to tell the kids, you have to treat Angela like your own sisters. And they used to do that because the school is from Loreto Valley Road and it's a Christian school. So they used to respect her. So when we go like Mombasa, she goes and perform very well as usual. She wins all the categories until other parents, they say, this kid she needs to play at a higher group because she's winning everything here. I say, no, she has to play this. So for her category, she used to play her category and upper category. And that's where she has been strong and tough. And also the courts where she has been training, it has been tough, a lot of cracks, and it has hardened her to be a stronger player.
Well, as we look at that, because it looks like the foundation was built well and there was never a hurry, to take her to the next level without going through all the stages. Angela, when I look back at, I look at you now and, your connection with tennis, definitely someone or somebody must have inspired you into tennis, because we have Malkia strikers doing very well in volleyball. We have other sports that Kenya is doing so well in football. Why tennis, and who's your role model?
Well, I would say when I was young, no one inspired me to play tennis. I was introduced to it. But the moment when I tried the sport, I think I loved it, and that's what I continued playing. And my role model in tennis is Serena Williams in the girls, and in the men is Rafael Nadal. Yeah.
When you say Rafael Nadal, I know Joe would be looking at big names like Ivan Lendl or Boris Becker of the yesteryears.
Yes.
But I mean, very big names indeed in tennis, and looking at the journey ahead. Now let's focus on the Australian Open. Talk to us about how the experience was, because making it to the third round was not easy, but going through the stages, how was it like for you, knowing that this is a groundbreaking moment for you?
Well, for me, even before going to the Australian Open, I had a goal for myself, which I didn't tell a lot of people. Who asked, I would tell, but some didn't ask. Well, my goal was to reach the quarterfinals, but unfortunately I reached the third round. But what I used to tell people before going was, I'm just going there to enjoy the moment and enjoy the chance that I've got. And I think that's what helped me when I was playing my matches. I was enjoying what I'm doing, which I don't usually do in most matches. So I think I should continue and doing more of that. And the experience was pretty nice. I liked the surface, I liked everything, and the organization. It was really nice, and people there are really nice and generous, and as I would say. And when I won my first round match, I was really proud. I expected it, but not really. But after I won my first match, I was really ready to win my second round match, which I had really good confidence, and it was really nice, and I really liked every bit of it. And thanks to ITF for giving me the chance to be in the ITF team and the GSDF fund. They really helped me, and thanks to Tennis Kenya for helping me with the visa and all that, and also to my family, my coaches, and the Duck City family. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's good to hear you appreciating all those who've been behind the success and the pressure that you are in, and like you rightly put it, you rarely enjoy your matches, but this time round you're just having fun. Coach,
Yes.
how was it like for you, just seeing that she was getting the results match after match, and getting to the third round? Did you achieve your targets as coach? Because she was looking at the quarterfinals, which she never got to, but at least as coach, did you achieve your targets?
For sure, yes. First of all, to be in Grand Slam is a big tournament, and I think she's the first girl to play such tournament. For me, it's just to thank God for my player. I know I produced some players who have gone scholarship, like Rhoda Chebet, who went to Balotelli Tennis Academy, one of the best academy in the world. That was my first player who ever leave JTP to go to States. And also we have some other players like Stephanie Mbaya, who was from Loreto Valley Road, and she went to State fully scholarship. So most of the players have left JTP, but for Angie, this was like a dream. It's like impossible becomes possible. And I know she's gonna go play more Grand Slam like French if she maintain her ranking. But like for now, she needs to play more matches to keep up her ranking, because if she doesn't play, her ranking now will go lower, and she might even go to quality or even not to play. So she needs to play a lot of matches, and she needs more support from Kenyans, because it's really tough to go outside, no fans and stuff, and she can make it. She has proved she can do it, and I believe in her. She can do it. It's a miracle. It's a miracle for me.
Well, I mean, you rightly put it, seeing how she's gone through the ranks and going all the way up to that level, and you are satisfied as coach in terms of getting to the Grand Slam and getting to the third round, to you was a big achievement. Not just you, but even for Kenya as a country. Yes. Angela, this now comes with pressure on you. How are you looking at the future? Because being an African champion, you are also the Africa world #1, which means that not just locally in the country, but through the continent, everyone is looking at Angela, the person to beat in terms of improving your rankings and stuff. What next for Angela?
Well, for me right now, I have pressure, but not that much, because everyone knows me now, but I don't put it too much in my head. Like right now, I'm just thinking like I'm the girl who didn't play the Australian Open, to keep me pushing myself even harder to do what I've done in Australian Open or even more. So now my plan is to play now I'm going to play in Cairo. I'm playing futures, and this year I'm just mixing futures and juniors to be able to have a good ITF and future ranking, and hopefully go turn pro. Yeah.
Well, I mean, those are images of Angela. I mean, very good moments, exciting moments, moments that you will live to remember in future as we look at this. Angela, still with you, because there is that person looking at you right now and saying that when I grow up, I would like to be like Angela. What message did you give them? Because there are those who think you woke up and just found yourself there.
Well, what I can tell them is you just have to have the passion of the sport. You can just say, I just want to play tennis. You really have to have a goal and where you want to reach. And I know there's some people sitting out there and just saying this sport is hard or this sport is this. I would urge them to just go on the court and try it before giving your opinion first. Maybe you would like it. And also I'll tell them to just believe in themselves. And most people who are out there playing tennis here in Kenya, they are not really welled up like how I am. So I think I'm a good role model to them. At least they can see someone who came from this background can actually achieve it. So I hope I've inspired people who want to be inspired, and I believe they can also do what I've done and even better than me.
And I mean, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years, Angela? Because age is on your side. Are you looking at the maybe going back for the Australian Open, making it to the semis, the French Open, the US Open? Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Well, in the next 10 years, I'm seeing myself playing at the big stages, meaning the Australian Open, but now playing with the big boys. Well, yeah, and actually my goal, my future goal has always been playing there and winning a Grand Slam.
Winning a Grand Slam?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, they say sky is the limit, but I don't look at it that way. Personally, I say sky is the stepping stone to greater heights. Yes. Coach Joe, looking at Angela, and you've mentioned, the academy. I look at the yesteryears, and academies has been one major problem for Kenya. Yesteryear, we only had maybe JDK, tennis academy, then yours came up. And since then, we are seeing more of Angela's coming in. On the boys' side, you have the Changawas, you have the Kibets. What do you think is Kenya's potential in terms of producing world-class, players like Angela here?
Oh, as I said, in every sport, in everything a parent can do, we need something pyramid triangle. Believe me or not, without a good player, without a parent, and a good coach, it's difficult to make a player. In every sport. Like this is a good example. Like a grandma, she has been very supportive. She has nothing, but she is there. If I tell the grandmother the tournaments in JD, they walk all the way. The tournaments in Parkland Sports Club, they walk all the way. This is the pyramid. Good player, the parent, and the coach. You might find the coach is just there for business. And they have a good player and parent. Or you might find a good coach and a student. Parent is too busy. So to make a good player, you have to have this pyramid triangle. So, and everyone can play. In Kenya, we have potential. The problem we have is parents are so busy, they don't take these things as serious, but now they can see. Someone from nowhere can do something. And I think now with the CBC, parents have to let it go a little bit in the education. And if someone is a soccer, swimmer, tennis, let it go basketballers, because you never know where the talent. Because who knew Angela could have played tennis? I've trained a lot of kids there, but Angela have made it because of the grandmother, the parent, has been there. Packard used to tell me, hey, I'm going to afford this. Is there a time I'm going to afford it? But don't worry, God is there. I'm going to help you where I can. And after there, we'll see. So that's where, after 10 years, ITF came up. You see, it was not my plan, but it's God's plan. So everyone can play. There are talent in Kenya. So we need to believe in yourself. We need to pray hard. We need to work hard. And not believe in one thing, only education you can pursue. If she was to say only education, we will not know her talent where it is. So I'm hopeful. I believe there's a talent in this country.
There is lots of talent across all sporting disciplines. Angela, how do you balance education and tennis? Looking at the time schedules, at times you have to be out of the country, schools sessions are on. How do you balance both?
Well, I would say I'm lucky enough to be doing homeschool. So with that, I have a balance between tennis and school, and I have a schedule and times of when I need to study and times of when I need to practice. So I do homeschool, and I'm in my last year, so hopefully I'll finish quick to be able to have now more time for just tennis.
And as you look at more time for tennis, you must be playing lots of tennis with your fellow, players in the country. Do you see potential from the players that you have around, and do you believe that in the next, say, 2-3 years, Kenya can have a very formidable team like we've seen, with the men? We've seen Changawa, we've seen the Kibet, playing so well, more so in the Davis Cup matches.
Well, I would say yes. I do see a potential in some girls here in Kenya, but I would say the men stand out because they are not in school, so they have more time to practice. They're big guys, so yeah. And most girls here, the ones in Kenya, we are mostly in school. We are young girls, but all I can say is just they just need more time on the court because they have more time in school than the court. So that's the only thing that's letting them down. But if they can have like more time in the tennis court or a balanced time, both tennis and school, I would say they can actually do what I've done or even do better than what I did.
Coach, one key ingredient, and you've clearly put it, that you need a pyramid. You need the coach, you need the player himself or herself to have passion, then you need a parent. There is another key ingredient that surrounds the pyramid, and this is the equipment and facilities. Do you think we have enough in the country that can expose more of Angela here so that we have a formidable tennis family in the country?
That's another problem, facilities and equipment. And like in Kenya, we don't have public facilities, like where people can, and those like her who can go and play tennis, we don't have in Kenya. You have to assess in a club or assess in a school. Like her, she was very lucky because she used to live in a school which has a tennis court. That's why I got her. So somebody somewhere is talented and want to play tennis is gonna be tough, because you have to go to a club. Like for me, I go like to Kibera, I get a school, and then I tell them where to go. Like me now, I train them at a public service club, where I get the kids who unfortunately they cannot afford. I give them a chance to play tennis. Like those kids who in high school, I give them a chance. I go there, such who can play, but it's not easy because you have to have a parent who can able to bring them to the club. So there are very few parents who are willing to do that because they don't see the value of these sports, and they see these sports as very expensive. And the equipment like rackets, tennis balls, for sure, very expensive. For me, I don't know how I get them, but I've never got a sponsorship. So the small money I get, I just buy in bulk from somewhere, and that's how we survive. But it's not easy in tennis.
It's not easy because equipment, facilities, yes, normally a key ingredient.
Yes.
You see, you train maybe on loose surface here in, yes, Kenya. When you go out, it's a complete different story. Angela, take us through a normal, typical day. How you plan yourself in terms of preparations, more so when you're training for major championships, like say the Australian Open. You have books, you have everything to run through. How do you manage yourself? Because we've seen a lot of players of late having some mental health issues because you're under pressure. I need to train, I need to study, there is personal life going on. Run us through a typical day when you know you have training, you have studies, everything.
Well, my typical day is I wake up and then I have training.
At 4 or 5 in the morning.
Oh, okay. I wake up at 5 because I have training at 6:30. I need to be at the club, so my training starts at 7 till 10, and then from 10 I go back home, and then I have school from 10:30 to 12:30, and then after that I take lunch, if there is, yeah. And then after that the hours I have, I just try and maybe pack my things for training, maybe fill water and all that. And then my other training is from 2 to 4. And then from 4 I go back home, and then I have school from 5 to 7. Then after that take dinner, and my bedtime is at 9.
9?
Yeah.
Wow. So 5 to 9.
Yeah.
Not easy.
No.
Very packed day. But in terms of a game situation, say while during the Australian Open championships, you are out there, how are you preparing and psyching yourself before getting to the tennis court? Because there is always that moment when maybe now the coach is like, you know what, everything is now within your hands, and you have to go out there and do it. How do you prepare? There are those who listen to music, there are those who pace around the court.
True.
How do you prepare yourself?
Well, I wouldn't say I have a specific thing of how I prepare. It just depends on the day, because some days I might listen to music, some days I might feel, no, I don't need music, I need maybe to do something else other than music. But maybe if I pick a day, I might, before my match, I might just have music, like any type of music I listen to. I don't have a favorite music.
I was about to ask you.
Yeah. So I listen to music, I do my warm-up before my match, and when I go to the match, before the match, I tell my plan to the coach, and then she or he tries and tells me if it's a good plan or it's not, or we can add this or that. And then after that, I just go on court and I fight it through.
Coach.
And imagine,
Please.
she went to Australia without a coach because of COVID.
No.
She went, the way she is, bags, airport, she found other coaches from ITF, so no supporters, no fun. You could imagine. No one.
Okay, in short, you're saying
Because of COVID.
you are the Kenya there,
Yes, yes.
everything.
Yeah.
How was it like?
And she was 17 years.
Pressure.
Yes.
No man's land, you alone.
No, yes.
But somebody just guides you and
Yes.
you remain disciplined by the end of the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
How was it like, Angela?
Well, it wasn't easy, but I thank God I had a good coach over there from the ITF. She's really nice. She's called Beta. She's a really nice coach, and she's really easy to work with. And it was tough going because I was like, what will this coach do and that? But when I went, she's a totally different person to what I thought she was. She has a really good personality, and she's really easy to work with.
As we look at that, coach, how does it make you feel that you can't accompany the player going for such a big tournament, a breaking moment in her life and for the country as well, but you just can't accompany her? How does it make you feel?
It was so sad, very sad. You know, Australia, where it is miles and miles. And
Talk about the COVID restriction.
I'm telling you, like, first of all, she was to go to Dubai, and then it was no Kenya can go to Dubai, and then now she has to go to Tanzania. So the flight was changed again. The other flight was cancelled, and she's alone. As I say, she's very strong. She's courageous and stuff. For me as a coach, I feel like no much support. At least, okay, we were told even if you go there, I will not be able to talk to her and stuff, maybe on the phone. I'll be like, just fans. They'll be not like talking, do this and stuff. But at least she could have got somebody, a company. Like, I'll be there, come on, I can do something, and then to make her, I believe she could have gone beyond that quota. I believe if I was there, or Francis Rogoy, the other coach, or someone to motivate her who has been there for her.
Just hear as Swahili word.
Yes.
Inawezekana.
Inawezekana kama wafadhili watakuja wasaidie. Like now we are hoping she's going French Open, and we're hoping if somebody can come up and bill us with a ticket accommodation there for French Open, because it's so sad for 17, 18-year-old girl to be alone, because she needs somebody. Even you're there, you're not talking, but she feels the presence of Kenyans on the ground. It was so sad for me, and nothing I could have done it. I just let it for God. I say, God, please do. I was praying. I said, now we need to win this one. Like, I remember when she was in the second round, she was like down. I went to the Facebook. Angela's on court, please, we need your prayers. There's another bishop in Kisumu. Ooh, she prayed, and she won.
Wow.
Because she needed God, because we were not there. And she did it,
She did it.
Yeah, God is great. God is great.
All the time. Yeah. And as we start winding up this, coach, looking at Angela's potential and what you've seen in her, where do you see, Angela reaching with her potential? Given all the support, everything that she needs.
Believe me or not, she'll be our next Serena in Africa. She can make it. She can make it if all Kenyans come and support her. All the matches she needs to play. Angela is a girl who she's gonna go places, but she needs Kenyan support. Me, I've done my work. I did my best to help her to reach where she is, but I believe there Kenya somewhere they can come and support her, because sisi ni moja. We are together. Let's support her. Because she's our next Serena. And all of us will be celebrating Grand Slams, and we want to go and watch her and support her. And it's going to be a big, big thing in Kenya and Africa.
Thank you very much. It will for sure be big. Angela Okutoyi, I mean, African champion, Africa world #1, ranked number 53 in the world, just come back. A very, very good performance from the Australian Open. Thank you very much, Coach Joe. We appreciate. We'll be looking forward for your performance and, you know, your training as you prepare for the French Open. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you.